this is the Uncanny Omar here from Near Mint Condition, and today join me as I take an advanced look at Conan the Hour of the Dragon and Conan Chronicles Epic Collection, the Battle of Shamla Pass. I'll also be looking at the Legends of SpiderMan, because I forgot to do that with my SpiderMan video I did a couple of days ago, so please stay tuned. Okay, now really quickly, I'm going to look at Legends of SpiderMan, and then we'll look at the Conan books. But before I do, I wanted to give a shout out to David Gabriel from Marvel Comics for sending us advanced copies of the books. So here we have Legends of Spider-Man. This is such a cool concept. The book does retail for $15.99. All three of these books, by the way, come out on January 1st. So I wanted to go ahead and throw this in there because I forgot to talk about it when I was doing the Absolute Carnage book that I was looking at from Spider-Man, Miles Morales, that I did a couple of days ago. So anyway, this is a really cool concept because you have all these creators coming back. Peter David, Tom DeFalco, Ron Frenz, Ralph Macchio, Rick Leonardi, Eric Larson, Mark Bagley, Todd Nauck, and writing The Adventures of Peter Parker again. It's a really cool concept. They did the same thing with Wolverine. They did the same thing with the X-Men characters. And I didn't want anybody to miss out on this, especially this. It's so nice to see Eric Larson come back and draw and write Spider-Man right here. It's just, I've forgotten how much I enjoyed his take on Peter Parker. All these amazing facial expressions behind the mask, or with the mask that he uses, such as that. And then in the very back, what they did was add the Louise Simonson Power Pack Grow Up issue 1. I guess they couldn't find another Lila Cheney from New Mutants. The Power Pack are some of my favorite characters that I grew up with when I was a kid, and I'm so excited for their omnibus. Anyway, this is Louise Simonson's return to writing these characters. Here's artwork by Gudi Hidu. Oh my gosh, I'm so not saying that right. And here we have some extras in the back, mainly stuff about Power Pack, Grow Up. I believe that's the variant. Okay, and then the Spider-Man stuff here, pencils. And this book is right at 112 pages, by the way. Next up, we have Conan, Hour of the Dragon. This is a book that is $34.99. And one of the things I was going to say about this is that this is such a cool book. When I got this in about a week ago, I read it because I love Conan. I love everything Conan. And I was wondering why they did this in a collection. Why they didn't just put it into the omnibus, or so the issue with this is the Hour of the Dragon are collected stories. It's an ongoing story that were supposed to be written throughout the pages of the giant-sized Conan books. That's cool. They're all written by Roy Thomas, and Gil Kane was the main penciler on it. However, giant-sized Conan got canceled, so what they had to do was put in some pages in Savage Sword of Conan, volume issue 8, I believe, and then issue 15, if I'm not mistaken, to wrap it up. But, as some of you all may know, especially if you're getting the omnibus by now, is that Savage Sword of Conan, and I'll get to it here in a second, this book right here, is all done in black and white. So, what they did was recolor it. It's Mike Keller, the guys that do the same touch-up on all the Golden Age books and things like that. They went in and colored the pages from Savage Sword of Conan to tell you one complete story from beginning to end. The Hour of the Dragon is based on the one novel that Robert E. Howard wrote about Conan. So there are some things that I know that Roy Thomas changed. As a matter of fact, Roy Thomas, he does an introduction here about the story of why it took so long to get this book, and for the first time ever being collected in the way it's supposed to be read and in full color. I'm surprised they didn't go with a deluxe edition on this, considering how popular Conan is and how much it sells. There's also a few what are these, king size annuals in the back here. Yeah, and that's kind of like the aftermath of what happened in those issues of the Hour of the Dragon here. But those colors are absolutely beautiful. The recolor is. So this is all a Corey book, by the way. So you know how much love and time he puts into these books. And that is Corey Settlemeyer, this gentleman right there. Here's all the other people. And like I said, Mike Kelleher. He's the gentleman that recolored all the pages of Savage Sword so we could have this book in the way it was supposed to be read. Now, this book is 288 pages, and again, it is $34.99. Really quick, let's look at the back here for extras of this book. This back here is a history of the Acaronian Empire. The maps, because during this time, Conan was king, and that's pretty much the basis of the story that I forgot to mention, is that he is the king, and he has taken down, and some people believe him to be dead, so he goes villain by villain in each of the volumes, taking them down to reclaim his throne. There's a biography here of John Buscema, Roy Thomas, and Gil Kane. Roy Thomas, man, guy is a national treasure that is still with us. Taking us to Conan Chronicles Battle of Shamla Pass. This is an epic collection, and this collects Conan the Cimmerian issues 8 through 25. 0 through 7 were collected in the Epic Volume 3. So if you're keeping tabs, this is Epic Volume 4. And if you're keeping tabs, this is $44.99. So we've had a $5 increase in price, so keep that in mind. And I don't think that's for every of the Epic collections. It might just be Conan, I'm not really sure. But, I mean, one thing to also keep in mind is that all the Conan omnibus are also $125. So here we have the collection. This all was originally printed in the Dark Horse years, in the Conan the Cimmerian. And if you own Conan the Cimmerian, the Colossal Omnibus, then all of this is in there. It only lasted 25 issues, so all this stuff has been printed before. And actually, here are all the previous releases of Conan, the Kurt Busiek stuff, and then some of the Cimmeria stuff right here. Now, the next book that comes out, let's flip all the way through the back, and then we'll look at the extras. This one right here is one that has not been collected in the omnibus format when Dark Horse owned the rights to them. It is all written by Benjamin and Timothy Truman. Timothy mostly. And it's got this gorgeous art. Now let's go back and look at some of this artwork, though. Because it is Timothy Truman himself draws it, Thomas Giorello, Paul Lee, and most importantly, if I could find it, it's got some of the final artwork by the legendary Joe Kubert here in this issue. Now, he only draws a couple of pages, but still, you can always tell when Joe Kubert puts his style into a book. It's beautiful. Now, let's look at the extras, because like I mentioned, this book has 464 pages, and all three of these books come out on January 1st. Most of these come from the pinups in the back of the books. Some of them are variant covers, but most of these are just pinups from the single issues when they originally came out. I love this picture, by the way. This by J.P. Kalonji kind of reminds me of a Tim Sale drawing. That is gorgeous. That's actually Timothy Harmon, the guy that wrote this particular book, who's also done Grimjack and done stuff for DC. He's done a lot of stuff. And here we go. It's Art Baltasar. That is a cool, what is this? Conan Cimmerian number 25. It's a pinup of Robert E. Howard by Sean Phillips. Sean Phillips is the guy that always works with Ed Brubaker on stuff like Kill or Be Killed, Fatale, Fade Out, Criminal. And this freaking picture right here by Jeff Darrow. Man, it's so good. Here is some more extras. By the way, the cover, this one here is the cover to issue 8, and it is drawn by Michael Joseph Linster, who did Dawn, and he's done some stuff for Dynamite recently. Here's Afterwards by Timothy Truman, in the introduction, uncolored pages. Yeah, you know what to expect when you get an epic. It's beautiful books, reproductions. And those were the contents of each of those books. Don't forget, you can get these books when they come out from cheapgraphicnovels.com, your online home for brand new graphic novels and collected editions up to 50% off cover price. Cheap Graphic Novels prides itself in packaging your books so they arrive safely and in excellent condition, as well as prompt and helpful service. Cheap Graphic Novels Black Friday sale is continuing all through December, so there's still time to save up to 95% off thousands of books. Additional books will be added throughout the month, so be sure to check back often and stay tuned to CGN on social media to be the first to know when the new books have been added to the sale. Cheap Graphic Novels, your source for the hottest books with the kind of deep discounts, quality shipping, and customer service that will keep you coming back for more. Now let me know in the comments down below if you buy every Epic Collection, if you're just getting Conan in this Epic format, if you've never read Conan and you wanted to try it out, or if you own the Colossal Conan Omnibus from Dark Horse that came out a couple of years ago. And I don't want anybody to miss out on these books. That's why I wanted to go ahead and do an advance overview. I think this is a really cool book, this Legends of Spider-Man, and of course Hour of the Dragon. The fact that it's all in color makes it so freaking awesome. Again, this was the Uncanny Omar. Please don't forget to hit that like, subscribe button, and remember, if it's classy and cool, it must be near mint.